Hi, friends. I'm Angie Rose. I'm a health coach, a life coach, and I'm a pastor. And every week I spend just a few minutes helping women and men, yes, women and men, become healthier in their bodies, stronger in their minds, and freer in who God created them to be. So grab your cup of coffee, take a deep breath, and let's talk. So here's the question of the day. Who told you who you are? Seriously, think about it. Because somewhere along the way of your life and your experiences, someone said something. Maybe it was a parent or a teacher or even somebody you loved very much. Maybe it isn't even something they said, it was something they did. And before you knew it, you started believing a story about yourself that isn't true. So maybe your story when it comes to your body sounds like things like, I'll never lose weight. I've always struggled with my weight. I'm just not disciplined enough. I'm too emotional and I end up eating. Or I'm not smart enough to even figure out what to do. How about, this is just who I am? The problem is, the more we repeat those statements, the more they begin to sound like facts for you. So for years, I believed things about myself that simply were not true. I believed that I wasn't enough, believed I wasn't worthy enough to be a Christian. I believed I would always struggle, and I believed that my past failures would always define my future. And those weren't just thoughts, they became what I believed and my identity. And when something becomes your identity, you stop questioning it. So I learned something fascinating. Scientists call it neuroplasticity. It's a big, beautiful word with a beautiful meaning, but simply it just means your brain can change. The pathways in your brain are not set in stone. So every time you practice a new habit, every time you think a different thought, and every time you choose a healthier response, you're actually creating brand new pathways in your brain. You're literally helping your brain learn a new way to think. Now, isn't that amazing? I think it's pretty cool. But here's what I love even more. Long before science ever discovered neuroplasticity, God was already talking about transformation. Romans 12:2 says, do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Notice he did not say, try harder. He didn't say in this scripture, be ashamed or beat yourself up. And he didn't even say, pretend to believe what you're saying. He said, renew your mind, because God knows that the way we think will shape the way we live. I see this all the time in my health coaching over and over. A woman will say to me, well, I always fail. I've always failed every diet and gained all my weight back. So when she misses one workout, she quits. Not because she actually failed, but because she's acting out the story she already believes. So what if instead her story became, I'm becoming a healthier woman? Now, when she misses a workout, that thought process causes her not to quit. She simply starts again tomorrow. One story creates defeat, and the other, it creates resilience. So can I challenge you today? I want you to pay attention to the conversations that you're having with yourself, because no one talks to you more than you. If you wouldn't say it to your best friend, then why are you saying it to yourself? Imagine looking in the mirror tomorrow, and in the morning, instead of criticizing yourself and beating yourself up, you simply said, I'm growing, I'm learning, I'm changing, I'm healing, and I'm becoming who I'm supposed to be. Those words matter. So here's something I tell the women I coach. Your past may explain you, but it does not have to define you. You are not the worst thing you have ever done. You are not your biggest mistake. And honestly, you are not any diagnosis that's been given to you. You're not your divorce. You're not your addiction. You are not your failure. You are who God says you are. Loved and chosen and redeemed, forgiven, and being transformed every single day if you will work with God to do it. So today, I want you to notice the story you've been telling yourself. Then ask one question. Does this story agree with what God says about me? And if it doesn't, guess what? It's actually time to write a new story. Not because you're pretending to be someone you're not, but because the truth is you're finally agreeing with heaven. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one old story you are ready to let go of? Put it in the comments. And what's the new truth you're choosing to believe instead? Now, I'd love to pray for you. So when you comment, I do pray for you and I cheer you on. So until next time, I want you to stay fierce, stay free, and keep becoming the woman that God created you to be.